If you have ongoing exposure to controlling people, it's a virtual certainty that you're going to experience blurry boundaries, which is why I've created the extensive online course called This Is Me, Establishing Boundaries with the Controllers in Your Life. There's a link below that will give you all of the details, and I hope that you would find it therapeutic. To no one's surprise, developmental psychologists in general will draw upon the research of Pulitzer Prize winning the late Erik Erikson, who explains that the characteristic, the trait of trust, is foundational to all other aspects of socialization. In other words, if you're going to have a good ability to interact well with other individuals, you have to have a core trust that you have in general toward other individuals. And when we talk about feeling a sense of trust, it means that as you engage with someone else, you feel like there's a safe haven there that's waiting for you. You're able to connect at a heart level. You feel wanted. You feel significant. That's what we mean when we say that you have core trust in a relationship. Now, this is a crucial insight for you as you're trying to figure out where that narcissist is coming from, because not only do they not trust, their inability to trust takes them down the pathway toward paranoia. Now, I want you to just think of the core ingredients of narcissism and see how tightly they're aligned with the inability, the paranoid tendency towards trust. For example, when a person is just uber selfish, like narcissists are known to be, then it's like, look, I have to take care of me because I don't think any of the rest of you slobs out there are going to do so. So their self-absorption is built upon an inability to have any belief in other individuals. Also, when a narcissism is defined by a high need for control, and again, that ties directly to the lack of trust. I have to be the one to set the agenda because if I don't, you're going to set the agenda for me. Then on top of that, they have to be in the superior position, another identifier of narcissism. The implication is, if I just allow you to engage in whatever way you want, you're going to try to be superior over me. You're going to put me in the inferior position because you see, narcissists are accustomed to being spoken to with shame and guilt and judgment, and they don't want to be on the receiving end of that. Narcissism is known as a pattern of life where a person hides behind a false self. Again, lack of trust. I can't let you see who I am. I'm not about to let any of my flaws or needs be known to you because you'll do me in. Also, narcissism is known as for having a lack of empathy. Again, you don't make an attempt to understand me. I don't think you do. Therefore, why would I try to do that in reverse toward you? And then on top of it, narcissism is also known as a pattern that is anchored in manipulation and exploitation. It's like, I'm going to get to you before you get to me. You see, narcissism itself is built upon fear that then leads toward more and more of a paranoid mindset. And when we talk about paranoia, we're talking about, the lack of trust, yes, but it's more than that. There's an element of delusional thinking that's there. Narcissists in their paranoia, they have a fear of rejection. They have a fear of betrayal that's not grounded in fact. But it's they assign irrational motives to other individuals because that's what they assume is going to happen based on their deep history of not being able to connect well at a heart level with other people. Now, as you're engaging with the narcissist and you're trying to make sense of what you're going to do, you're going to see all sorts of other evidences that show that they're bound by their paranoia. Let's run through some of that. Narcissists in their paranoia are unable and unwilling to confide in other people. It's like, if I confide my personal agenda and my personal issues with you, you know what that means? That means I'm giving up my power, and there's no way I'm going to do that. Paranoid individuals must have that position of power. Also, you're going to find as you engage with paranoid narcissists that they have an uncanny knack, I guess you could call it that, for finding hidden negative intentions on your behalf toward them. I mean, something simple, like you say, well, I'm going to work on this project for the next couple of hours. And then they can come back thinking, I wonder why you're not doing what I want you to do. Are you against me? Are you trying to connive against me with other individuals? Why are you rejecting me? And it's like, all I'm doing is I'm just kind of cueing you in on what I'm doing, but they can read all sorts of messages that simply aren't there. Now, that having been said, there's another thing that happens with narcissists in their paranoia, and that is they can be very easily offended. If you say, I don't like the way this went, or I think we could have done this better, they're going to interpret that as rejection. Like, I can't be rejected by you. I just can't. And you're over there thinking, I'm just talking with you about a preference, or I'm discussing how we might be able to blend better. It's like, no, you're out to get me. And they're so easily offended that it sets up a very high level of defensiveness. Now, on top of that, I mentioned, narcissists are defined by their control. In their paranoia, it's not as though they want to be in control. Again, it's bigger than that. They have to be right. They think in very black and white binary terms, and as far as they're concerned, you either agree with me or you don't agree with me. They cannot receive any kind of criticism because, again, that implies that you think poorly of them, and so their need for correctness is off the charts, and as a result, there's a whole lot of criticism that goes along with that. And then another, and this is big, that indicator that narcissists are operating with a great deal of paranoia is the pervasiveness of their anger. Now, again, all of us can have our moments of anger, but the narcissists in their paranoia are thinking, well, I'm so agitated because you won't give me what I want, or you won't do the things that I want. And so they carry a natural inclination towards tension, or they're easily triggered, or they're impatient, they're argumentative, they can be annoyed and impatient, all the rest. And it's their way of implying something's going to go on with you that I'm not going to be pleased with, and so it doesn't take much to get them to unload their frustrations, their fears on you, but it comes out as anger. Then, in addition, narcissists must stay in the place of power. They want to have that final decision, and to the narcissist in their paranoia, if they're not in the power position, then they fear that means they're going to be irrelevant. So if you're at a gathering and you're not deferring to that narcissist, they're thinking, so what do you think I'm just a nobody? And you might be over there thinking, well, I was having a nice conversation with this person over here. Nothing more, nothing less. And they interpret your independence as not recognizing their relevance. And again, there's an exaggerated interpretation to your negative and to their self-protection. Now, in addition, they struggle with a lot of envy. In their paranoia, if you're over there receiving something good, they can be thinking, why am I not receiving this? Why, do people not understand all the nice things I've done? Does this mean that you think less of me? And so compliments that come your way, that they read it kind of like a zero-sum game. Well, there's only so many compliments going around, and if you get 9 compliments, that only means there's 1 compliment left for me, and we can't let that happen, and envy can take over. It's nuts when you begin thinking about this. Now, again, we talk about how narcissists, how their paranoia causes them to engage with you. They're unable to listen. They're too busy trying to make you hear them. And then as a result, there's little to no mutuality. When I say that, give and take. And, I'm going to listen to you. I want you to listen to me. It's like, no, it's all about me. So I want you to think carefully. When you recognize all of these many aspects of paranoia that I'm talking with you about relative to the narcissist, I know that you want to sit down with that person and say, hey, look, here's what's going on. We can do a lot better job. Work with me, will you? How well does that go? And you'll realize you're not going to get traction with these people. They are tied up. They're imprisoned. They're bound by their paranoia. And even if you say, let's just talk about it, they're thinking in their paranoia, oh, so you want to get inside my head and pull a number on me, huh? That's not going to happen. Okay, got it. So as you see this pattern inside the narcissist, what's the wisest way to respond? Well, first and foremost, I'm just going to say, understand it for what it is. This is a long-standing pattern that goes all the way back, like I say, in developmental psychology years. It's linked to their unresolved fear and shame and management of judgments or rejection. They don't know how to do it, and you're not going to be the one that's going to lead them into the insight that you wish that they could have. Also, as you respond to them, be prepared for the narcissist rejection when you say, well, I want to go into a different path. They are pre-programmed to say, well, then you must be wrong, because that's their paranoia. They'll blame you for whatever problems that might generate or differences. And so just factor that in and don't be shocked when it comes along. On top of that, don't bother to try to set the record straight. How many times have you felt like I've got to explain myself again why I'm not being the awful person they're accusing me of being? You're not going to get through them to them. You haven't gotten through to them the last 180 times you tried to do it. The 181st time isn't going to be the one where you're going to have a breakthrough. Don't argue. And their distrust, they're thinking, well, I'd like to pick a fight with you. And then if they can get you dysregulated, then that'll prove to them why it's okay for them to argue with you. And so get away from the noise and pull away and trust yourself. The narcissist is going to just let you know over and over, you're not a trustworthy person. Of course, that's their projection. That's an issue that they have not come to terms with on the inside. The paranoia is built into the narcissistic pattern, and by definition, they're going to have a great deal of change because they're the most difficult. Paranoid individuals can be the most difficult to work with because they won't listen to you because you're probably out to get them. Understand you're not going to have a deep relationship with a person steeped in paranoia, so factor that in as you go into the space that we call boundaries. Make sure that you take care of yourself, knowing full well the narcissist is not going to participate. I hope this gives you some good insight with respect to what you're dealing with. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so. We'll keep more videos coming toward you. You'll notice on the website I have a tab that says videos. There's a whole bunch of past videos there. So do that. Hit the notification bell when you subscribe, and you'll be notified when new videos come along. Now, you know that I've been sponsored for years by the people at BetterHelp.com, and the reason I do is obviously I'm retired, plus I can't take care of everybody here on the channel, but there's a whole system there with the people at BetterHelp where they have licensed professional therapists. You go through their link that we have provided below, answer a few questions, and then you get to select a therapist that you can work with. And it can be so beneficial for you to have somebody that says, I want to get to know you in a fair and objective way, and let's figure this out. Who are you and what are your vulnerabilities and how can we build upon your sense of well-being? Get the help that you need. In addition, in my retirement from my therapy practice a few years back, I've been putting together online courses, and each course has at least 25 teaching videos, and with each video we have handouts and then guided questions, and it's all for a very therapeutic purpose. We have anger games, how to not to get sucked into all their anger. And then we have This Is Me, about establishing the boundaries, Free to Be, Ready, Set, Connect. Those are my courses that I have. There's links below the video here and on our website as well. Also on the website, you have access to my webinars, and these are 90-minute presentations, and we're building our library of those as well. So very interesting topics we have there, along with access to my podcast, plenty of articles, my books, lots of resources. Narcissists in their paranoia are thinking, you're out to get me, aren't you? And you can be thinking, well, now that I understand what I'm dealing with, I'm out to get away, which is a different kind of thing. At some point, you have to disconnect and remind yourself, I've got to take care of me. I want to be a person of steadiness. I want to live in dignity, respect, and civility. That's what we stand for here on Team Healthy. And as you do, I hope that even though the narcissist can't join you, I hope that you're able to find your place of peace.